With Avatar: The Way of Water smashing box office records, we're now sure that the next three installments of the CGI wonder will push through. And for today's video, we'll be sharing what we know about Avatar 3, 4, and 5. Plus, lead actor Sam Worthington revealed that director James Cameron has a full script for Avatar 1.5. Find out all about this and more by watching today's episode. Avatar: The Way of Water has finally arrived in theaters around the world, but James Cameron has much more in the works. Avatar: The Way of Water has finally arrived, 13 years after the first Avatar film. But with the film likely to be a blockbuster hit and Avatar 3, 4, and 5 planned announced a decade ago, it's difficult not to anticipate what's next for Pandora and the greater Avatar universe. Director James Cameron has been on a lengthy press tour for Avatar 2, and much of the discussion has revolved around the rumored 3 Avatar sequels. Cameron hasn't been shy about revealing where those films are and basic facts, which means we know more about what the next decade holds for Avatar than we might with a traditional series. Fans may be surprised by Cameron's approach to authoring these big brands, given how these massive franchises typically work. Cameron convened a writer's room akin to those assembled for a season of television after the success of the original film, when ideas for so many sequels were originally made. Rick Jaffa, along with Amanda Silver, Josh Friedman, and Shane Salerno, collaborated with Cameron to establish the franchise's story before splitting up to each tackle a script for a feature. This proactive strategy can also be seen in how Cameron approached filming the films. Substantial portions of the next 3 films have already been shot with actors Sam Worthington, Stephen Lang, Zoe Saldana, and the new kid actors. Despite all of the intriguing behind-the-scenes insight, we still don't have a complete picture of what we know about the next 3 Avatar films. So, when will we get to see the 3 following sequels of Avatar? Avatar 3 will be released on December 20, 2024. The original plan was to produce 1 Avatar film every 2 years, giving the franchise a chance to breathe, though not for 13 years this time, while giving Disney room to release new Star Wars films. However, Star Wars' theatrical future has become a little murkier since those plans were announced, but Disney shouldn't have too much issue finding something to replace Rogue Squadron if it isn't ready in time. This recently released movie was titled The Way of Water, so what will the title of the next movie be? The BBC revealed the claimed titles of the Avatar sequels in 2018, citing evidence, and while Cameron would not confirm any of the titles, he did state that they were among those being considered, including The Way of Water for the second film. With that in mind, The Seed Bearer is the leaked title for Avatar 3. This does not necessarily imply that this is the title of the film, but given that Cameron and his co-writers have already worked on a few projects, he most likely has a good notion of what he wants it to be called. Now that we have an idea of what the next film's title will be, what will the movie be about? So far, Cameron has only confirmed that Avatar 3 will be about the Sully family, with an emphasis on the children. The most obvious hypothesis is that this film will continue Jake's struggle against the Quaritch and the Sky People, while also following Kiri more closely in her superpowered third act in The Way of Water. There is clearly a franchise tendency. If you've noticed, the first film transported moviegoers to the forest, then the immensely expensive sequel transported them to the ocean, each time introducing a new Na'vi tribe. Now, it appears that the third will continue this tradition by introducing the Ash People, a fiery tribe that will show Pandora's residents a new side. Some suspect that the Ash People will be utilized to portray the Na'vi in a less favorable light, maybe implying that they are more aggressive. Cameron, on the other hand, did not explicitly state this. This new side of the Na'vi could represent a variety of things. They may be less hospitable to outsiders, especially as Avatar and Way of Water both deal with the idea of finding a new place to belong in a previously foreign environment. As Jack Champion's Spider, despite being a human, appears to find belonging with the Sully family after growing up with the Na'vi, Jake and his family may face additional complications when meeting the tribe after adopting their new son, with the threat of humans still looming large. Plus, expect even more underwater action. According to Cameron's collaborators, behind-the-scenes images of Kate Winslet underwater waving around a big white cape are actually from Avatar 3, according to costume designer Deborah L. Scott, while director of photography Russell Carpenter tells us that there was more underwater work done for the other movie. So what's the current progress of Avatar 3? According to Cameron, producer John Landau, and Carpenter, Avatar 3 has been shot totally. This film was shot concurrently with the second installment. Now let's talk about Avatar 4. What do we know about it? Let's begin with its release date. When is it? When Disney last revised its release calendar, Avatar 4 was scheduled for December 18, 2026, adhering to the one Avatar every 2 years schedule. Next, does Avatar 4 have a title? The rumored title for Avatar 4 is Avatar: The Tulkun Rider, albeit this has yet to be confirmed. confirmed. Given that we already saw someone writing kind of a Tolkien in this film, it's unclear what this title could be referring to, so we'll have to wait for additional information on that front. But we are picturing Dune in the Avatar universe. Now, let's talk about its progress. How far along is it? This is less apparent than with the third film, but we do know that it has been written according to Cameron, and that the cast and crew have shot a portion of the film, but not the entire thing. The half shot was done for logistical reasons, according to Landau. An obvious guess, the young actors involved in The Way of Water may have been required to film a section of Avatar 4 before, growing up. More precisely, Cameron claims that on page 35 of the script of Avatar 4, the tale will jump ahead, allowing the youngsters to grow up. In terms of the plot, Cameron has stated that the writing for Avatar 4 was the first to get a response from the studio. When I turned in the script for 4, Cameron told Collider in an interview, creative executive over the films wrote me an email that said, "Holy fuck," and I said, "Well, where are the notes?" And she said, "Those are the notes," because it kind of goes nuts in a good way. Now, let's finally talk about the final movie, which is Avatar 5. When will Avatar 5 be released? Avatar 5 will be released in theaters on December 22, 2028, according to the 2-year cycle and Disney's current calendar. However, Landau tells Polygon that a fifth picture isn't a given. The fate of that proposed feature may be determined by how well The Way of Water performs at the box office. Next, what is its title and what will it be about? This one's suspected title is Avatar: The Quest for Eywa, but like the others, we don't have much concrete confirmation. Surprisingly, we know a lot more than this one than we do Avatar 4. Cameron recently stated that he believes Avatar 5 will bring the action to Earth. According to the filmmaker, Neytiri will see that not all humans are wicked, but the audience will also see that not all Na'vi are good, implying a sequel to Avatar. It sounds fantastic from what we've heard so far. Now let's talk about the progress. How far along is it? Based on what we know, this is the least developed, and it may not even be written yet. With that in mind, based on Cameron's cryptic comments, little to none of it appears to have been filmed. In other related news, Avatar actor Sam Worthington revealed that James Cameron had a full script for Avatar 1.5. Cameron may have another blockbuster success on his hands, according to early critical attention, but only time will tell. However, if The Way of Water earns as much or more than its predecessor, Cameron's future plans for Pandora may become much more grandiose. According to Vanity Fair, series star Sam Worthington stated in a recent interview that Cameron has a whole script completed that takes place between the first 2 Avatar films. Furthermore, it's quite good. Jim gave us a script of 1.5 that he wrote that shows the time between Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water, and he wrote a full script. Worthington said during the interview, "I said, when do we shoot this one? Because this is amazing." He goes, No, that's just something I wrote over the past year to give you his backstory." So is Avatar 1.5 happening? As if Cameron's proposed 5-film series for the franchise wasn't already ambitious enough. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Cameron and company are still fine-tuning tales specifics for the prospective later sequels that are still in the works. Producer Don Landau revealed to Gizmodo that Avatar 5 will take place in part on Earth. In there is a section of the story where we go to Earth, Landau said, and we go to it to open people's eyes, open Neytiri's eyes to what exists on Earth. And viewing the global headquarters of the Resources Development Administration, or RDA for short, will be much more than that. Landau stated that not all humans are terrible, but not all Na'vi are good either, as is the case on Earth and what they wish to expose Neytiri to. Of course, Cameron will only be able to film Avatar 5 if The Way of Water is a financial success, which the director is well aware of. Cameron aspires to realize his whole version for Pandora since it will be a natural extension of all the themes, characters, and spiritual undercurrents. He went on to say that if you liked the first movie, you'll probably like them, and if you didn't, you'll probably detest them. If you liked it at the time but afterwards said you disliked it, you'll probably like these. And that's everything we know about Avatar 3, 4, and 5. Which future Avatar movie are you most excited about? Let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching today's video, and before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these.